Hello and welcome. You're watching the Daily V News broadcast. And in today's edition,
the 11th National Women's Congress opens on March 12 in Hanoi. Senior officials of ASEAN Pacific, members of FAO, meet to prepare for the organisation's regional conference. Vietnamese business competitive capacity is reviewed since the country joined the World Trade Organization.
the 11th National Women's Congress opened on March 12th in Hanoi, with almost 1,100 delegates from localities across the country participating.
The event was also attended by Party General Secretary Nguyen Phu Trong, Prime Minister Nguyen Dan Zum, National Assembly Chairman Nguyen Sinh Hung, and representatives from ministries and central and local branches and sectors. Speaking at the Congress, Party General Secretary Trong highlighted important contributions of Vietnamese women during the national defence and construction. He recommended the Vietnam Women's Union continue to strengthen and uphold its key role in works related to women. The party leader affirmed that promotion of women-focused works is the responsibility of the country's political system, the society, and each family. Party committees, authorities and sectors should be fully aware of targets of women-focused works to conform to the country's reality. It is also essential to build programs and plans to create effective changes in women-focused works in each sector, locality and agency, he said. On the occasion, Trong presented the Vietnam Women's Union with laudatory writing with the words solidarity, creativity, integration and development. The same day, the Congress will discuss measures to build and strengthen the development of the Vietnam Women's Union.
The senior officials meeting SOM of the 31st United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization Regional Conference for the Asia Pacific opened in Hanoi on March 12th, seeing the participation of hundreds of delegates from over 40 member countries.
This year's event takes the theme Food Security and Poverty Reduction in Rural Areas, which are practical and urgent issues, given that 65% of people living in the Asia-Pacific region are suffering from hunger. The reduction by half of hungry and poor people by 2015, as set in Millennium Development Goals, is a great challenge to the world, and the Asia-Pacific in particular. From March 12 to 13, participants will discuss relevant issues and provide heads of delegations with consultancy on strategies and measures for endorsement at the plenary session, to be convened on March 15 to 16. The biennial FAO conference for the Asia-Pacific is an event of great significance in the region. This year's event will last until March 16.
The Vietnamese Ministry of Transport and the Belgian Embassy in Vietnam organized a seminar introducing Belgium's technologies in seaports, transport infrastructure, and logistics services in Hanoi on March 12.
The event took place to mark the visit to Vietnam by a Belgian economic delegation from March 11th to 16th. Belgium has benefited from developments in navigation, local waterway technologies, economics, logistics, and environmental management. Addressing the seminar, a representative of the Transport Ministry said that with a 3,200 kilometers coastline and 24 large and small ports, the Vietnamese government has paid attention to investing in infrastructure, including seaports. However, Vietnam has faced difficulties attracting investment. Meanwhile, the amount of goods at seaports has increased by 15% on average. Vietnam wishes to share experience with Belgium and cooperate with the country in port infrastructure and transport to gain a competitive edge and lure more foreign investment. Belgium is experienced in logistics services, and this is an opportunity for Vietnam to learn from the country's experience in this field. Belgium has 4 main seaports and 6 local seaports, including Antwerp, the second largest seaport in Europe.
Coffee exports this year are likely to reach over 1 million tons, earning the country a turnover of $3 billion, the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development forecasts.
The exports will be equal to last year's quantity but increased by 10% in quality, the ministry said. The prediction was made amid the International Coffee Organization's pessimistic information about the global coffee production in the 2011-2012 crop, which was estimated at over 132.4 million bags, down by 1.3% against the previous crop. Meanwhile, slumps in international coffee prices also influenced domestic prices. As of late January this year, coffee prices in the Central Highland province of Đắk Lắk decreased by 3.4% compared to that of the beginning of this year, reaching only 36,800 Vietnamese dong, $1.7 per kilo. The country generated $350 million from exporting 170,000 tons of coffee in the first month of this year, marking a year-on-year decrease of 21% in volume and 15% in turnover. Vietnamese coffee is exported to nearly 80 countries and territories, with the US, Germany, and Belgium being the largest importers.
Since the country joined the World Trade Organization, the competitive capacity of Vietnamese businesses has improved. However, many difficulties and challenges remain. The information was released at a recent workshop on the issue in Hanoi.
According to economic analysts, after joining the world's largest trade body, Vietnamese businesses have gained invaluable experience in selecting and planning for their investments and business operations on a global level. Competitive pressure is one of the difficulties that Vietnamese firms struggle to cope with. Most businesses are small and medium-sized enterprises which do not have the capacity to integrate into the international market. This has led to many becoming embarrassed over the lack of ability and limitations when dealing with the WTO.
Vietnamese businesses have made some tough but essential decisions in recent times. However, their competitive capacity needs to improve so they can compete globally. Many do not have a forward-looking approach and are not prepared to build up their brands and extend their business operations into the international arena.
Also up for discussion was the impact on domestic companies since the country joined the WTO. Many said that the initial difficulties helped define them to choose the best way to take advantage of the potentials of economic development.
A number of businesses have lost the initial advantage in the post-WTO period and must now change their business operations to benefit from competitive advantages. I think it is essential for Vietnam's economy and its businesses to redefine their economic activities to develop further potential.
Since joining the WTO, Vietnamese enterprises have gained experience of modern models of business management and have enhanced their competitiveness to meet the requirements laid out by their foreign partners. They are also becoming more aware of the importance of improving the quality of their products and services and creating successful brands.
The value of Vietnamese seafood exports is expected to reach 10 to 10.5 billion US dollars in the period of 2015 to 2020.
According to the Seafood Export Development Program, by 2015, seafood exports will remain one of the country's major income earners, which is important for the sustainable development of rural economies. The program hopes to increase the growth of this staple export by 8% annually, and the value of seafood exports is expected to reach 7.5 billion US dollars by 2015. It also plans to introduce more successful brands to the market and earn a good reputation overseas by 2020 to help the sector remain sustainable in the global marketplace. The sector needs to maintain its traditional markets, such as the European Union, Japan and the US, which provide more than 60% of the country's seafood export earnings. In addition, Vietnam needs to seek out new export markets for its seafood, such as Eastern Europe, the Middle East, Africa, South America, China, the Republic of Korea, ASEAN countries and Australia.
An efficient power-saving program helped to reduce the number of power cuts during the dry season in Ho Chi Minh City last year. The details are coming right up.
The city saved more than 391 million kilowatt-hours of electricity in 2011, cutting the total usage of power by 2.56% in the city. The achievement surpassed the target assigned by the Electric City of Vietnam previously, according to a report from the Ho Chi Minh City Power Corporation. The recent citywide campaign to encourage power savings in households was a major contribution to the results for 2011. According to the corporation, power consumption in households contribute up to 40% of the total electricity usage in the city, equivalent to 20 million kilowatt-hours of power a day. Last year, the total amount of generated electricity was around 106.33 billion kilowatt-hours nationwide. The entire country saved 1.3 billion kilowatt-hours of power, or 1.4% of the total consumed power. Ho Chi Minh City achieved a better rate, more than 2.5%.
And that has wrapped up today's program. See you again tomorrow.